बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम अल्लाहुम्मा रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम आमीन अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन. The topic of this lecture is important questions of equations of straight lines of P3 vectors. For this lecture, I am using the work of one of my best student, Miss Sharika Batul of class 2020, the Lyceum. An important advice for me and for everyone, we should be kind to others. Question number 1. The midpoint of AB is M. The point N lies on AC such that AN is 2NC. So it's given M is the midpoint of AB and N is such that AN is 2 times NC. This is the equation of the midpoint. Whenever you work for midpoint, make a rough sketch and then write this equation. AM is half of AB. In this way, you can easily get OM. So OM will be half of AB plus OA. This is OM. Well, AN. So use position vector formula ON minus OA and this will become OC minus ON bracket and 2. So first bring this ON on left side and then get 3ON. This is 3ON and then get ON. After getting both the points position vectors OM and ON, work for the equation of line MN. This is so simple. We have 2 points M and N. We can easily get the equation of this line MN. So this is the direction vector of the line MN. MN is Q. So Q will be this. And you can either use M or N for the equation of the line. This is the equation of the line R OM plus TOQ. TQ in fact. This is OM, this is the scalar multiple of the Q and this is Q. This is question number 1, part 1. Now it's given MN intersects BC at P. Find the position vector P. That means lines are consistent. First, we need to work for the equation of BC. So this is the way to get the equation of line BC. This is the direction vector of the line P, which is vector BC. So this is P and you can either use B or C. 3, 2, minus 3. We use B here. This is OB, this is S and this is P. This is the equation of line BC. It's given both the lines intersect. Therefore, their R's must be equal. When lines intersect, they intersect at a common point. So by equating the R's of both the lines, we will have 3 equations. We will solve any 2 equations. For the values of S and T, we solved these 2 equations and we have got these values of S and T. Now we will substitute these values into this equation which we did not consider while solving, and this equation has been verified. In fact, in this question, you don't need to verify whether the lines, this equation is satisfying or not, because it's mentioned in the question that lines intersect at P. So you don't need to do this thing. But for your own satisfaction, you can check this equation for these values of S and T, so that you are sure that you are doing well. You are doing in the right way. So by substituting either T here or S here, you can get the equation, point of intersection. This is the point of intersection. Make sure you give your answer in IJ and K form, because the question was given in IJ and K form. So give your answer in IJ and K form. Question number 3. Show that L and M intersect. We just did this type of question. In order to prove that lines intersect, you need to equate the R's of both the lines. Get three equations, solve any two, get the values of t and s, and then substitute the values of t and s into that equation which you did not consider for solving. You did not consider this equation for solving, therefore substitute t and s here. This equation must be verified because it's given show that lines intersect, and this is verifying. So after this verification, this is the extra work. This is not required in this part, but maybe examiner would ask you if lines show that lines intersect and find their point of intersection. So in order to get the point of intersection, either substitute t here or s here. If we substitute s here, then we'll get this thing. This is the position vector of their point of intersection. And if the examiner asks, state the coordinates of the point of intersection. So this is the point of intersection. Make sure you will give this answer if the examiner asks you, find the coordinates of the point of intersection, then give this answer. If the question is find the position vector of the point of intersection, this is the position vector of the point of intersection, and this is the point of intersection. Make sure you understand these two things well. Second part is very simple. Calculate the acute angle between the lines. This is so simple. You just need to use scalar product formula. The angle between two lines is the angle between their direction vectors. So these are the direction vectors of the lines. So by taking the dot product of these two, you can get the angle between two lines. Use this formula. P dot Q. And you all know how to use this formula. Just take the dot product of these two vectors, their magnitudes are here, and then take cos inverse. You can leave this thing, this is not the part of this question. Next question is 6. With respect to the origin, the points A and B have position vectors A and B. The point P lies on the line AB. This is the sketch, this is the rough sketch. The point P lies on AB such that OP is perpendicular to AB. So you just need to make a rough sketch to understand this situation well. This is the rough sketch of this situation, and it's given OP is perpendicular to AB. So this is OP, and this is perpendicular to AB. So the dot product of these two vectors must be 0. Number one, you should work for the equation of AB. And this is the way to get the equation of AB. First get vector AB, which will be Q, the direction vector of the line. And this is the equation of line AB. You can either use A here or B here. Now, you all know when any point on the line is unknown, then you can replace R by that point. So since P is unknown, so we can replace R by OP. So OP is this. Now take the dot product of these two vectors, OP and Q. So OP dot Q is 0. In this way, you can easily get the value of T. After getting the value of T, substitute T back into OP and get the vector OP. You can check the solution again. First get the equation of line AB, part 1. This is the equation of line AB. Then get OP by replacing R by OP. And then take the dot product of OP with this direction Q or vector AB. They both means the same thing for the value of T. And after getting the value of T, substitute T back into OP here. And this is the way you get the vector OP. Well, this third part is not in our syllabus because it involves plane, and planes are not in the syllabus after 2020. Question number 10, first part, show that the lines do not intersect. This is so simple. First equate their R's, get 3 equations, solve 2 equations for the values of lambda and mu. We solved these 2 equations and we got these values of lambda and mu. Now substitute these values into this equation because we did not consider this equation for solving. This equation will not be verified. Therefore, lines do not intersect. Or you can say lines are skewed. When lines do not intersect, they are said to be skewed lines. Now the second part is calculate the acute angle between the lines. So by using the scalar product, we can get the acute angle. This is the formula of the acute angle, or the angle between two lines. Give your answer in degrees up to 1 decimal place. Part 3 is not in our syllabus because it involves planes. Leave all the questions of planes. This question is simple. Question number 11. First we need OP, and it's given P is on AB. So first get the equation of AB, or you can write AP is lambda times AB, because we use this collinear points method here. A, P, B. So we can write AP is lambda times AB. We have both the options. We can either get the equation of AB first and then we can replace R by OP, or we can directly use this thing, collinear points. Vectors of collinear points are multiples, like AP is a multiple of AB. So this is the way to get OP. The second part. Well, by equating these two cos, find lambda, and given that OP bisects AOB, meaning these two angles are equal. So cos AOP is this and cos BOP is this. You just need to equate these two, cancel the magnitudes. Remember, you can only cancel the magnitudes, you can never cancel the vectors. Don't cancel these two vectors. So by simplifying this and solving this, we can get the value of lambda, and the value of lambda is 3 upon 8. I'm writing this here, I'm not solving this. You can complete this yourself. When you will complete this, you will get this value of lambda, 3 upon 8. Now the last part of this question. When lambda has this value, show that AP, PB, OA, OB, I mean these ratios are equal. We can prove this by using this condition. Use this, AP lambda times AB. It's given AP is lambda times AB, and lambda is 3 upon 8. Therefore, this means AP has length 3 in ratios, and AB it's of 8 in ratios. So this should be 5, because this 3 means the length of AP, and this 8 means the length of AB. You can write this in this way as well. See, AP is 3 units and AB is 8 units in ratios. So this is 3, this is 8, so this must be 5. Now you have to show this thing. AP, this is the part 3, AP PB is equals to OA OB. So AP is 3, PB is 5. We have the magnitudes of OA and OB. This is the magnitude of OA and this is the magnitude of OB. So this is 3 and this is 5, hence shown. You can check the answer again. The most important thing is use this relation which was given in part 1. Well, question number 13, the shortest distance. Find the shortest distance from P to L. This is the point P and this is the line L. So for shortest distance, always make a rough sketch. P is here and F is the foot of perpendicular from P to this line. And you know how to get the coordinates of F. This is so simple. You should replace R by OF. So by replacing r by OF, we can get the coordinates of F. This is the equation of the line is given. F is unknown. Whenever any point is unknown, we replace r by that point. So this r is basically OF. It's here. Unknown points are replaced by r. I mean, r is always replaced by unknown point. So this is OF. After getting OF, get this vector PF, because we need the magnitude of PF. So PF will be OF minus OP, second minus first. This is the vector PF. Now the problem is PF is in the form of lambda. For lambda, take the dot product of this vector PF with the direction of this line Q, because they both are perpendicular. So by taking the dot product of PF with Q, we can get the value of lambda. The lambda is 3. Now substitute lambda back into PF and get this vector PF. After getting this vector PF, get its magnitude. And that's the final answer. So these steps are here. There are basically 3 steps. Number 1, work for OF. Make a rough sketch first. And then work for OF. F means the foot of perpendicular from P to this line L. And OF is very simple. Replace R by OF. This is OF. And after getting OF, get this vector PF. This is the vector PF. Step 2. Step 3. Work for the value of lambda. For that, you need to take the dot product of PF with the direction of this line. This is the step number 3. You are working for the value of lambda. I'm writing this here for lambda. Use the dot product. This is the value of lambda. And this is the step 4, get PF and then get its magnitude. If you want to take the screenshot of this solution, you can. Well, the next question is 15. The lines L and M have equations. Given that L and M intersect, show that this thing. This is so simple. When lines intersect, we equate their r's. You will get 3 pairs. 1, 2, 3. You just need to utilize these 3 pairs in a way that you will get this equation. I'm leaving this solution for you. You can do this yourself. First equate these 2, then equate these 2, and then equate these 2, and then you will be able to get this thing. Given also that L and M are perpendicular, find values of A and B. This is so simple. When 2 lines are perpendicular, then their direction vector, the product of their direction vector, the dot product must be 0. By using this and by using this equation, you can easily get the values of A and B. Now find the position vector of the point of intersection of L and M. This is again very simple. After getting the values of A and B, you can easily get the value of lambda and then use, you just need to use A, B and lambda and get the position vector. Part 3. Part 3 is here. Substitute A, B, use AB and get the value of lambda. This is basically the concept. Use the values of A and B into this equation for either lambda or mu. After getting the value of either lambda or mu, let's suppose you have found lambda, substitute lambda here and get the position vector. (34). Now in this question, it's given OA is this, OB is this, and OC is this. These vectors are here. They are not clear here. So this is OB and this is OA. And it's given ABCD is a parallelogram. Find the position vector OD. This is so simple. Make a rough sketch. So, AD is equal to BC. These two vectors are equal. So, with the help of this equation, we can get OD. OD minus OA and BC is here. OC minus OB. This is OD. And this question is not in the syllabus. Now, verify that parallelogram is a rhombus. Well, for that you need to get the lengths of any two adjacent sides. Either get this length AB and BC or get AB or AD. You can get any two lengths. This student got AB and BC. Since these two lengths are equal, so this parallelogram is a rhombus. Parallelogram can become a rhombus, can be a rhombus, because rhombus is a subset of parallelogram. You did this thing in sets in O levels. This is the last question of this class. Show that the line passing through A and B does not intersect L. This is so simple. First get the equation of line AB. And this is the way to get the line equation of line AB. First get Q, which is AB. This is Q. Use either A or B for the equation of line AB. I use this point A. Now we have to show that this line does not intersect the line L. This is the equation of the line L. We just need to equate their R's. After equating their R's, we have three equations. Solve any two. We solved this one, and we got these values of mu and lambda. By substituting mu and lambda into this equation, because we did not consider this equation for solving, we have shown that lines do not intersect because this equation has not verified for these values of mu and lambda. Now we have to show the shortest distance from A to L is 1 upon root 2. Again, make a rough sketch. Whenever they ask find the shortest distance, make a rough sketch. So A to this line L. This is the foot of perpendicular from A to this line L. This is the direction vector of line L. Number one, get F, OF. And by replacing R by OF, we can have OF. After that, get AF, this vector. And it's simple, it should be OF minus OA. Number three, work for the value of mu. For that, take the dot product of this AF with Q, because these two vectors are perpendicular. So by taking the dot product of these two vectors, we can get the length of, we can get the value of mu. So the mu is 3 upon 2. Therefore, by substituting mu into AF, we can have the vector AF, and this is the magnitude of vector AF. Well, this is all from this lecture, and I hope this lecture will help you to understand the equations of straight lines in vectors well. An important advice for me and for everyone: we should be fair to others. Allah Hafiz.